Alright, just heading off on a flight to Bali, so I thought I would just do a quick check-in with everyone on the channel. Thank you so much for watching the last video in this series. So this is a little bit different. I am going on a semi-work trip to Bali. I'll be working with some people that are going to be helping me with my website and with all of the new training stuff that's coming. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if all goes well, there's going to be some really exciting things come out of it, which I won't share probably till the next video. But what I'll be doing whilst in Bali is just showing you some really simple things to do while you're away, some travel tips, some nutritional tips, all those sort of things. So when I get there, I'll unpack, show you what I've packed, and then I will keep you updated on what's going on in terms of the work side of things. And then also got a couple of days at the end just to chill out, so I'll just be doing all my online work there. Work doesn't really stop whenever I'm going away somewhere, which is completely fine by me. You get to work in a different surrounding, but obviously it's so important to have a bit of downtime. So I'll try to get the majority of my work done probably in the morning, a couple of hours, then again a couple of hours at night, and then try to enjoy things during the day. So that is it for me. I'm at Perth Airport. Luckily they have these handy little chairs and electricity and Wi-Fi, so everything can work pretty smoothly before I head off. So I hope you enjoy this little vlog. I'll keep you posted from Bali, and that's pretty much it. I'll see you on the other side. I guess at the moment, in terms of goals, I'm not in a caloric deficit or anything like that at the moment, so it's not too much of a stress going to Bali. I try to not get stressed out if I have to travel and diet and all those sort of things, but we do have the Arnold's in 6 weeks, and I've just started to get back into a bit of a routine with my food, so I don't want to fuck it up going over to Bali. So I've packed a few things, but really not a lot. It's hard to take, obviously, a lot of food over there. The first place I'm staying, we do have a chef, so that will be really good. The second place I'm staying, I'll have to probably choose a few things myself, which should be fine. I'll teach you how to kind of pick things off the menu when you are dining out. And that's it. I mean, if you're not in a massive deficit, you don't want to miss out on things in life. I will try new things and all of that over there, but just more follow a bit more of an intuitive eating pattern when I'm over there. Stop eating when I'm full, or not have to finish the whole dish. A lot of the time the meals are really heavy on fat and carbs when you travel, so you just have to be a little bit more careful, making sure you choose something that's got a high protein content on the menu. So that is it for me, and I'll see you there. Finally arrived, and it took an hour to find the hotel. So I'm just staying one night at this hotel before I actually head to the workshop I'm doing. Not bad. Just a one night little stay. Oh yes, that is my room. So finally in Bali, after, it was a pretty quick flight. It's only about 3.5 hours from Perth, but we got stuck in traffic for like an hour and a bit, and I'm only staying in Seminyak, which is not that far from the airport. It's probably normally like a 30-minute drive if there's no traffic. And it was funny, I was on the aeroplane and I was sitting next to this cute little old couple, and they were probably, I don't know, in their 60s, and they were holding hands the whole flight, and they were so just like in love at that age, which I think is really, really sweet. They said they'd been together for like 30 or 40 years or something. And they asked me what I was doing in Bali and blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, I'm kind of going for work, and then I'm staying a couple of days by myself. And they like looked so shocked. They were like, what's a young girl like you doing, traveling to overseas by yourself? And it was funny because I haven't really thought about it before. Like, I've done a lot of traveling on my own. I did America, like a lot of that by myself. The scariest place I've ever been to on my own was Ukraine. That was like a horror experience. I never recommend going there to anyone. I went there for Worlds, for IFBB. I flew in by myself. I remember getting to the airport. There was no Wi-Fi, no internet, nothing. It was literally like this old country, and somebody from the IFBB told me that there'd be someone there to pick me up. And luckily there was a young girl there, and she had my name on a sign and everything, and she took me. But that wasn't really that scary. The problem was there was obviously no internet. The scariest part was getting taxis anywhere because you didn't have any Wi-Fi. So literally as soon as you got in the taxi, like, it was on them. They didn't speak a word of English. I got one driver with one taxi driver, and he literally dropped me down a like side laneway, and he was like, yes, this is your location. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not. He's like, get out, like, give me my money. So that did happen in Ukraine a few times, which was quite scary. I have no idea why they run the world's FPV there, but you know, just for funsies, I guess. And I heard that Serbia was kind of the same the year before. So the year after that, I went to Canada, Montreal, and that's where Worlds was. And that was like completely normal. So biggest thing, I think, if you are traveling by yourself, and especially for girls, I think it's a little bit more scary, is I try to be really confident when I'm traveling. So if someone asks you questions, be very direct, but don't give them too many details. That's a big one. You want to make sure that everything's zipped up, everything's packed up, put locks on things if you need to. I wouldn't say like overlock things, because then it looks like you've probably got something to hide. I travel with a backpack, which was a really good idea this time. So I had one backpack which had my laptop and all my expensive shit in it that I actually wanted on me in case my luggage got stolen. All my big luggage really had in it is clothes, so it's kind of like whatever. So I kept my camera, all my chargers, everything in my backpack. And then I had another little small carry-on that just had food, bits and pieces, books, reading material, that sort of thing for the flights. But everything else, keep on you. Anything that's valuable, especially if you're going and flying somewhere to compete, put your bikini and heels in your carry-on. Don't put it in the baggage, because even if, you know, it gets lost for a couple of days and you've got to get on stage. So, and that was the same with when I used to do running. Whenever we would go to like an athletics nationals or event, we would always put our track shoes and our competition like outfit in our carry-on, because again, if something happened, you don't want to risk it. The other big thing with traveling is like when you get to Bali, obviously everyone hounds you and they're like, taxi, come over here. Make sure that you barter with people. You don't let people rip you off. If you haven't organized, I didn't organize transport this time, which is the first time I've ever been to Bali and not organized transport. And I just went up to a girl there that was a taxi driver, and she was like 400,000, and I'm like, I know that a trip to the airport is no more than 200,000, which is about 20 bucks Australian. So you just have to be really careful of those things, like check what the exchange rate is before you go, understand the money and the currency, so that when they're saying things to you, like quick amounts to you, you have to be quick to be like, no, that's a rip-off, or yeah, that sounds good. Because if you sit there and like get your calculator out and convert it, they're gonna know that you have no idea what you're doing and that you're new to the country. If they ever ask you if you've been before, always say yes, even if you haven't. I just feel like that's a really good one as well when you meet people. And then if they ask you more questions, you're just like, oh, it was ages ago when I was younger. But at least, you know, it just makes you sound a little bit more confident. So I guess that's a little bit off topic, but a big tip for traveling for girls. So it's about 5 o'clock here, so I'm going to quickly unpack a little bit. I'm not going to unpack much because I'm only staying here for the night, so there's really no point getting everything out. And then I'm still in Seminyak, but a little bit closer down the road. So I'm going to just eat something, go on train, and well, chill for a bit, then maybe try to get a quick session in, get a little bit of footage in the gym, in the hotel gym, and that's it. I will chat to you soon.